What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Save Point Podcast, Episode 7. I am Alex, and this is my new setup, just in case anybody was wondering. Happy Saturday, happy day before Halloween. We're here. We're ready to go. I'm going to be this entire episode is really going to be a lot of what you guys want me to talk about. I wrote in the community tab, which, by the way, every week I try to get your guys' feedback, get your, again, responses to the, just anything that you want to see on the show, questions, topics. So I'll do the community tab. You guys can let me know right now also in the comments below what topics you want to see or questions you have for next week, and we can just go from there. Obviously, again, for certain weeks when there's things that are happening, I'll have a big topic, but this week really nothing going on. Originally, it was going to be me talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. In fact, a few weeks ago I had said that was the plan, was for me to record my review of Guardians of the Galaxy, but I was able, and thank you to Eidos Montreal for giving it to me early. I was able to play it. I played it last week. I was actually playing it, I think the day before I recorded last week's episode, I was playing the game. So I did the review for anybody that, missed it on Monday, along with the big giants, the IGNs of the world. We all published the reviews on Monday. But I do want to talk just a little bit about that game. In fact, I was asked by King J, I believe, to talk about it. So I'll talk about it a little bit, and I'm just going to kind of rattle through everything else that you guys had asked me. But once again, let me know in the comments things that you want to see for the future weeks. And as always, if you are a supporter right on Patreon or YouTube memberships, either tier, $2, $5, you get, basically to the head of the line. You get the first place for me to read your stuff. So that's the way that we do it, a way of giving you guys a little something for you giving us something. So we'll just go from there. So Guardians, just really quickly, I kind of just want to talk about, I'm really happy that people are liking it. That's kind of, again, like I did the review, I broke down, I think, everything that I wanted to talk about in that game. I didn't talk about, the spoilers and stuff, but I loved, the entire thing. I thought it was a phenomenal game. I said it in the moment, or I said it in the review, like as I was playing it, you could just kind of tell, or I could kind of just tell, which I think everybody else is figuring out too, right? It's like, no, this game is legitimately good. Even from the very first, couple minutes of this game, and at the first time you do the gameplay, the first couple cutscenes, you're like, you know what? This is a legitimately good game. And then you just, you're in, and then you kind of just follow it along. So I'm so happy everybody likes it. I'm really happy that, well, I guess I'm happy also in an ego way. I'm happy that my reaction to it was right. I'm not one of those gaming journalists that like despise the game, and then the game came out and like everybody loves it, so now I look bad. No, I said it was tied-ish for my game of the year, that it was like the surprise game of the year, and it seems to be that way. People are blown away by it, and I'm super happy, and I'm super happy people are supporting it, and I think I speak for everybody when I say we want more games like this, not necessarily, and I know people like Marvel's Avengers. I know there's some people in my community that like Marvel's Avengers, but I would personally prefer that we never, go back to games like that, and we just do games, not even necessarily just like Guardians, because again, like even Marvel's Midnight Suns, you guys have maybe seen the videos I made on that. I'm okay with that. I like what we've seen. It's not for everybody. Zero, there's no arguing that. It absolutely is not for every single person out there, but it doesn't need to be. And Amy Hennig's game, I doubt that'll be, for everybody. So that's just the way that it is. So very, very happy for it is basically what I want to say. Next up is from Super Saiyan. He said, I would like for you to discuss Days Gone. Will we get a sequel, or is it over? So I personally am a big fan of Days Gone and wanting it to continue. I was a big, when the articles and the rumors mill was coming out. Actually, it was. Actually, up until this point, it's still only rumors and speculation by Jason Schreier, I guess, but that Days Gone 2 was like pitched, and that they, had said no to it, and all the behind the scenes stuff of, Sony Ben Studios working on the Uncharted game, whether it was a prequel or a remake, and then they wanted to do their own thing, and they got very, very mad, and then Sony listened to them and put them on, their very own game, and which is another open world game that also is, by the way, going to have motorcycles. We know that from job postings, and yet it's not a Days Gone 2. It's probably very close to Days Gone, but it's not Days Gone. I think that's kind of counterintuitive, considering you already had a gigantic game, all of this engine work, all of these mechanics to work for Days Gone, and then you want them to make another one. That's probably why the game is going to be, I would say, so similar, because you can't realistically ask them to make another open world game from scratch. It'd be like Sucker Punch, who said they got rid of a lot of the Infamous stuff to work on Ghost of Tsushima, and then Sony's like, okay, we don't want you to do either of those now. Make another like different mechanics from Ghost and Infamous. So I'm very excited to see their next game. I liked Days Gone. I didn't love it. Granted, I didn't play it all the way through, and what you countlessly hear on just the internet, right, is that the people that say really nice things about it say you need to play it like a long time. It gets better as it goes. Now, one thing to throw in there, I'm not a big fan of games that say, Final Fantasy was a proud example of that it gets better after like 15 hours in. You never really should have a game that you need to play 15 hours in order for it to start getting good. But regardless, that's what we've generally heard about Days Gone. I think I agree with that as well. The game gets better the more you go along with it. So I want a second game. I think it would be a lot easier to just give them the okay to make a second game. You'd probably get it in less time. You know what I mean? There'd be less time in between it than getting a new game. But at the same time, they're not a developer that's accomplished the highest of the high. Sucker Punch has done a lot. Insomniac, even Naughty Dog. Obviously those are some of the Sony Santa Monica. They have a lot of huge teams. And then you kind of have that middle tier, which is where, this game and this studio lies. So I think there's a place for it. I think Days Gone is an underrated game. I see so much love for it, especially a few months ago, when all this stuff was happening, or maybe it was longer than a few months ago, but when all that stuff was happening, the love and support and all that stuff for the game, it was insane, and I was super happy. It's cool. It's really cool to see it. So I want a Days Gone sequel. However, and I guess the way I've always thought about it, even when all these rumor stuff is going on, is I think Sony does listen in a sense, or in a way. I don't think they listen all the way, but I think they listen partly, and I have a feeling it's possible that if this next game, it's tough though, because if this next game that they make is successful, you would think, well, don't you want a sequel to that? And Sony would want a sequel to it, and maybe even Sony Bend, right? Because they're the ones who are Bend Studio. They're working on it, so it's like, well, yeah, we probably would it'd be easier to do a sequel. So, I think it's kind of both, where if they make a successful game next, you would say, okay, well, that gives them enough confidence to maybe go back to Days Gone. I think there's always a option for that, or room for that. But then at the same time, if the new game is successful, yeah, it could give everybody confidence to go back, but it could also give them confidence to just continue what they're doing right now. And who knows, the game that this is an optimistic point of view, the game that they're making right now could end up being better than Days Gone. And then all of us are like, we love Days Gone. It'll always be a game that we kind of think back to, maybe like a cult classic in a sense, even though it was a relatively high-selling game in certain standards. But maybe that's how we look back on it. Maybe it never happens, right? The new game maybe is just so much better. They never go back, and Days Gone is kind of like, yeah, remember that little gem, of the PS4 era, what 2019, 2018? So is that is going to be what it's like. So I don't know, but that's what I would say about Days Gone. Jeremiah, I don't know if you are watching this, and I'll try to respond to it on the community tab. Scream 2 top 10 characters / the Batman theories, just as a kind of like a channel update thing. I will probably be doing that for Scream 2. I had a lot of fun doing the Scream 1 one, and then the Batman theories, I do want to start making the Batman movie, stuff, and we'll start doing that as the months go on. We still got, a couple more months till March when the movie comes out, but I would say the last, or maybe like January, February, March, probably we'll start doing quite a lot of Batman content. Lone Wolf, a good guy. I know I can recognize him by name. A new Spyro game, maybe. So that'll be the next big thing, I guess I do want to say, or the second topic to this episode. So Spyro is something that, I don't get asked all that much about Spyro, but I follow a Canadian guy, great guy, great channel. I know he talks a lot about, Crash, Spyro, Sly. And I've covered Spyro before. I played the Reignited trilogy. I thought it was really, really good. And Spyro is an interesting one. I've said it before too. Spyro, I played as a kid. Actually, it was one of those games, along with Crash, that I played when I was very, very young. And I never really fell in love with it the same way that I fell in love, with other kinds of games. But Spyro was definitely there in my childhood. And in terms of in the present, if I was, so I guess I am a Spyro fan. I'd probably consider myself that, but I'm not like a diehard. I'm not like checking Google or Twitter every single day for Spyro news. However, with that being said, if I were one of a Spyro fan, I would be insulted, and I'd be very, very upset and angry with the way that this franchise has been treated, because really, and I guess, taking that into context, how it's been treated recently, because, it coming back is great, and it really getting the Crash treatment, which is what it got, with the Reignited trilogy, is great. And I think they did a great job, and I believe, specifically maybe even like the UK, right? It outsold Crash, the Insane trilogy. So Spyro actually did better. Maybe not in terms of all the sales, but I know in select markets it actually outsold Crash, which is pretty funny. And that's it. That's kind of what. Now, even I get confused. I don't even say the names sometimes of the developers that make the Crash or Crash Team Racing, because a lot of times I just get them all confused because they've alternated before and like they've handed it off. So I don't remember which one is the one that did the Spyro Reignited trilogy. Although I'm pretty sure they weren't the ones who then made Crash 4. Again, I'm not exactly sure. But the point is, the game did really well. We're in this era of bringing games back, especially we're in the area of bringing games back for a test run, and if they do well, we keep going. And that's really what Spyro did. I mean, it's what Crash did and what Crash has proven, that like this is the path forward, right? We bring it back, we do a remake, like a collection, and then when people like it, if people like it, then we make a new game. And that solidified it, and then Spyro did the same thing, and again, actually in some ways maybe even beat it. And then Spyro, just nothing happened. Now, again, though, I don't know which team would be working on a new Spyro game. Now, let me just say this so I don't seem like a fool to those watching. I do know there has been many, many leaks and rumors, and even like I think in Crash 4's like art book that you could like look on online or on Amazon or something, there's like hints of Spyro. So I do think a new Spyro game is in the works, like right now. I think it's been in the works for several years now. The issue that I do want to, anytime I have the chance to say this, I like to say it because it's insulting to Activision, is I hate the way that they've, this past year has been just abysmal in more than, Activision Blizzard stuff. Obviously, that's been bad. But in terms of when they collected all of the studios and they said, we're just going to make you all work on Call of Duty. When they said that, I made videos on that and I was very upset. I think it's really stupid. I get it because Call of Duty obviously is their number one moneymaker. And, if you need the game or you want the game so badly to come out every single year, you're going to do anything possible to get that to happen. And, if that means taking a team that's working on a Spyro game and a team that's working on a new Crash game and taking them away from them for an entire year, mind you, to work on Call of Duty, and then you put them back, if that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. I'm not going to be okay with it. I'm not going to be happy with it, but I guess I get it in the money sense. Now, actually, I saw, this is on Reddit, but I did see on Reddit a few days ago that there was a rumor that Vicarious Visions is actually going to be drop the name and just become part of like a Call of Duty team. So I really hope that's like a lie and that's not true, because that's the thing that I was most worried about with this. I don't want these talented people that brought Crash back to life, that brought Spyro back to life, that are working on new games of these franchises to be a borrowing team for Call of Duty for a full year, and then even maybe deciding, yeah, you know what, we kind of like you here. Call of Duty makes like 1,000 times what Crash makes. We don't need more Crash games. We'll just keep you on Call of Duty. I was afraid of that, and I really hope that doesn't happen in the future. Also, considering like Activision should have more than just Call of Duty that releases at any given moment. I think they should be a little diverse, and I've liked it. I liked Crash. I like Spyro. So, again, that's kind of where I would land. I think that Spyro, a new Spyro 4, is real. I think it was being made, but like Crash, I do believe fully, and there's really no evidence to suggest otherwise, that over the last 6-7 months, and it'll continue the next month or two, probably until Christmas, and then maybe next year they go back to normal, but for probably, 8-9 months, all work on any game that wasn't Call of Duty, that Activision, any of the teams, the thousands of people that work in all these different teams, which I believe is like 2,000 people that they gathered, all of that work stopped. Literally. So there's Spyro 4 just sitting on these computers, gathering dust, not being worked on for probably like a grand total of like 8 to 9 months. It should make you mad. It makes me mad, specifically for Crash. That was my thing. And, Spyro obviously is a thing that's also important to people. I'd be mad about anything, by the way, if there was a prototype remaster, that they were working on and that was shelved so they could do Call of Duty. So I hated it. I can talk about it for hours. And I did make a video when that rumor, it was a rumor, but then they confirmed it. Like, it's not even like it's speculation. It's probably not happening. I'm pretty sure either Bobby Kotick or Activision themselves confirmed, like, yeah, we've brought all of these studios in to help us work on Call of Duty. So I don't think it's a rumor. I think it's actually true. So hopefully with that being said, like a new Crash game, like the Wampa League thing, or a Spyro thing, hopefully next year we see it, and it probably would have released next year. But now you got to think, well, no, now whatever you think you know about this game, which could be fair, whatever you think you know, delay it by 9 months because they lost 9 months of development time. So that's what I would say to Spyro. And then Parker said to talk about Dune. I have not seen Dune yet, but here's the plan. Whereas this is Friday that I'm recording this. You guys will see this Saturday. I hopefully am going to see the movie over the next couple of days, but this is where everybody's going to hate me. It's going to be from home. So I know everybody's saying you need to see it in IMAX. You need to see it in the biggest theater possible. I've seen people that have seen it at home on their TVs that are much smaller than mine, so I feel like I'll be okay. You know what I mean? I don't feel maybe I'll be missing something, but I'll be able to watch it. Now, I've heard really good things about Dune. I really do want to see it. I have so many, just to go on a quick tangent, I have so many movies. I still haven't seen Shang-Chi. Probably will over the night. Actually, I'm going to wait till it's on Disney Plus for free, which is on, I believe, November 12th, so not too much longer to wait. Bond, I want to see it, but, if I don't ever see it, I guess I'm not that upset. Venom 2, I kind of want to see still, but I still haven't. So I'm backed up with movies, but Dune, I should check off the list very, very shortly. And then, like, a movie like Eternals, hopefully nobody asks me for that one, because I probably am not seeing that anywhere near close to when it releases first in theaters. So I'm pretty sure that's it, guys. Again, I want to thank you all for the support, for sending me any questions and topics. Again, next week we'll be good to go. Next week there's not any games, I believe, that are releasing like during the week. There is Call of Duty, I think, comes out next Friday, so maybe there'll be like video game topics or even movie topics to discuss. So we'll see if I have like a main topic. If I don't, again, I'll be asking you guys topics, questions. Let me know in this video. Let me know in the community tab when I ask next week. I try to ask on like the Wednesday, give people like 2 days to write in. And again, if you're a Patreon supporter, $2, $5, or a YouTube member, and by the way, links for that, all of those things are in the description. You'll get, I'll be guaranteed I'm not going to skip over your stuff. I'd try not to skip over really anybody's stuff, but I would be 100% certain that I wouldn't skip over your stuff, okay? So thank you for watching, guys. I really, really do appreciate it. Happy day before Halloween. Hopefully you guys have a good one tomorrow, and I will see you all on next week's episode.